All right, we're here.
Oh, it's Hungy Ghost time.
What?
The ghost is Hungy.
Oh, Hungy. I thought you said hunky.
No.
Okay, good.
That would be weird. What I said was very normal.
Let's add... yeah, sure. Let's cast a spell on this. All right, yes. We do know about this. Right, so we need to get our wheels back.
Yeah.
Let's hear about the Kappa first. Lives in the reef to the west. We tried going through there and we got, like, chomped on.
Right, because isn't the first one also to the west? Yeah.
Okay. So how do we deal with that? So we need...
Little gasping fish that hide in the sponge. Bright mounting terror.
Okay.
Like trembling stars. What are the other ones?
Gilded boar.
Stay by his ship.
Unless you bother him. And what's the terrible crayfish? The name
It's
is
terrible.
Fair.
The terrible crayfish just sucks.
Okay, so let's put off west for a little while then. Let's go hear about the troll. Lives in the east, in the corpse of a singer. Perhaps do not announce your presence. Okay, so let's try getting our wheel back to the east. In front of me is a huge skeleton. Some ancient leviathan died and left these sprawling bones. To the northeast, someone seems to have built a house in the skull.
Interesting.
Listen, I hear nothing. Let's cast a spell. A troll carl loves guests. Guests seldom love a troll carl. Be quiet and quick.
Interesting. So, we have a way to make things quiet.
Yep. Silence settles over me. All my actions will be muted and quiet now. Will only last while I am in this area.
Cool. What if the listen gave us options, right?
Yep. Wait and listen.
Yeah.
For a while. A little bit.
Still nothing.
A little bit longer.
Wait, but also we just cast mute, so of course we wouldn't hear anything.
Yeah, whatever. The long spine of this dead creature winds a path from north to south. North, a hut has been built in the skull. The south, 2 gardens are planted on either side of the tailbones. Okay, we're still under mute.
Are we?
The troll's moving.
Uh-oh. Aren't the flowers south?
Yep.
Where we are?
Yep. So let's head west.
Yeah.
Troll's moving towards the flowers. Okay. Let's wait for a moment. And let's see. Troll's moving towards the flowers.
Okay. Does that change at any point, I wonder?
Well, that's why I'm waiting. The troll's not moving. Okay, let's go. Hut. The floor is... I'm going to drop a hot save right here real quick.
Yeah.
Sound like a plan?
Yep.
Cool. The hut, the floor is stone. The roof... Fuck me. The roof is rib rafters laced with seaweed.
That's a tongue twister if I ever seen one.
I am having a day. The floor is freshly swept and clean. There's a broom leaning against the wall. There are 2 more rooms to the north. The kitchen is slightly more west. The library is slightly more east. Sweep sand in. Ah, we could be a dick about it. Shall we see? Omni will just tell us where the troll is at.
Yeah.
So let's.
Are we still muted? Are we sure of that?
It said it lasts as long as we're in this area.
Yeah, but what does area mean?
Okay.
That's what I was wondering. If it meant exactly this room, or what?
A rather well-equipped kitchen for a hut and a whole whale skeleton. Sink but no plumbing, probably enchanted to make water. In the center of the kitchen, there's a boiling pot. A smaller pot is on the stove in the back. It's currently surrounded by alchemy tools.
Ooh.
What do we need alchemy for?
I don't know, but alchemy seems cool.
No, to be frank, I'm not sure what this is. I don't... The alchemy table contains a small pot and a burner, a variety of knives and measuring spoons, and a numbered cabinet of ingredients. Alchemy is tricky. I probably don't need it to achieve my ends. I already have magic. It could solve problems without needing to use matters or motives. I think magic alchemy doesn't take well to web travel. I won't be able to take anything I create here to another area. Interesting. Well, let's remember this.
Yeah.
Swim east. Oh, it's a big triangle. Okay, let's... Roll's not moving. Okay. Shelves have been carved and joined out of driftwood. They are stacked with leather-bound books and sinew-wrapped bushels of notes. A mug of black liquid sits on a coaster of one of the tables. On a shelf, a silver cage that contains a golden bird. Take a look at the bird. The bird has a brass water trough and a copper seed dish. She's eating diamonds. She regards me curiously.
Uh-oh. Birds chirp, huh?
She tries to sing again, but nothing comes out. She looks startled. Then she looks afraid. She twitters agitatedly at me, but it is all silence. Let's... Troll is not moving. Okay, we're good still. Examine the mug. Looked black at first glance, but it is actually dark brown. A white head of foam has almost disappeared from the top. Smells malty. Put something in the mug.
I bet it'll let us do something like put death in there.
Either that, or we could... They seem to like things nice and orderly. I was thinking we could put chaos in their mug. Oh yeah, we could kill them, I guess.
What happens? What happens if you click it? Does it give us options? I have nothing that can be used here. Well, there you go.
There we go. Okay. Sort through the books. Alchemy recipes. Syrup of ipecac. Expectorant and rapid acting.
Hot sauce.
Mild hot sauce. Slightly spicy, also good for killing small fish. Medium hot sauce. Reasonably spicy, also good for killing big fish. Hot sauce. The recipe has been crossed out very thoroughly. Only one note has been left at the end. Too spicy. Weed killer. Too powerful. Need milder version. Eel. Purifying drought. I guess we copied down the recipes.
Yeah, those seem useful.
Takes a little time. Okay. Let's see what the troll's up to.
Yeah.
Moving towards the plants. Okay, I think we're still good.
Yeah. Anything else good in the books in the other categories?
Let's take a look. Sea life. Eels raise fish, monsters, and huge sea monsters. I think we read about fish first, right? Wow. Elaborate. Good golly. Okay, am I reading all this? I don't think I'm reading all this aloud, am I? 5. Oracle fish. Eyes can be used to see the future. Often loses track of present. Eats seagrass. Look for blue glow from eyes. Aghast. Perfectly frightened. Perpetually frightened. Listen for gasping. Haven't isolated diet habitat yet.
Oh, that's probably the one that we were meant to get. Because it gasps. The gasping little fish.
Oh, yeah. Fangtooth. Teeth too big. Form schools and reef near the antler coral. Hagfish, called Mixini. Have skull but no spine. Interesting. When agitated, produces milky and fibrous slime. Makes it very hard to contain. Likes hiding under rocks. Exciting fact, hagfish can enter and eviscerate the bodies of sea creatures much larger than themselves. Holothurian has a more common name, but I forget it. They have leathery skin and long, sluggish bodies. They cannot swim, only crawl. They come in many different colors. I am sure there are differences between them, but I do not care because they all taste the same and aren't alchemically useful. Very common in normal reefs, but in the dark reef, they cluster in colorful areas. Viperfish, beautiful needle teeth. Be hard to spot, but attracted to psychic emanations. Hunts by staying very still until something moves. Belly glows faintly. Luring prey. Eats anything. No palate. Very easy to poison. I guess we could take notes on this too.
Yeah.
All right, let's see where
I wonder if there's an achievement for reading all the shit. I bet there is.
Troll is not moving currently. Let's read about plants.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's read about coral. Oh, so many kinds of coral.
A lot of coral. Amber coral.
All right. Let's chance one more.
Yeah?
Sea life, I guess.
Could read about monsters, since
Yeah.
we're worried about monsters. Oh, there it is. The terrible crayfish.
Terrible crayfish became very large and transitioned from freshwater to saltwater. Ancestral memory of bisques and étoffes. Extremely vengeful against humans. Preferred diet, humans.
I see.
You don't say. The gilded boar and the giant spine catfish. Gilded boar enjoys the presence of gold and will hang around in old shipwrecks that contain it. Have only one tusk. Its ivory is a versatile substitute in alchemy recipes. Spine cat feeds on the manta rays around pillar coral. Bird diet, each other. Squick. Drags prey into its head and traps it in a waking half-nightmare where its prey is half asleep, experiencing its own worst nightmare, and half awake to the fact that it is being digested and cleansed alive by the Squick's stomach acid and barbed tendrils. Oh! That was what was in the... I don't like that.
Yeah, I hate that.
Bandwidth throttler. Created to try and control web ships that went too fast. Many went wild and now try to slow down everything by killing it. Will not murder past a certain quota. Preferred diet, eels, but will strangle anything moving. The angler fish. Lures prey with I cannot English today. Lures play with I hate it here. Lures prey with glowing advertisement. Nailed it. Lives near bone coral. Relative of the lantern fish. Can grow very big. Let's copy some notes.
Notes.
All right. Let's do something else. Cast a spell. Troll's not moving currently.
Do we think the wheel is not here in this
I'm
northern
thinking it
area?
might be in the garden because we didn't see it anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's vamoose then while we're...
Sure.
All right. Troll is not moving. Okay. Good on them. They didn't hear us, and we didn't alert them, so...
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to remember
good.
to do that next time we go in.
Yep.
I don't know what to do with any of the information we have, though.
Me neither, but at least it seemed to be about the things that we care about in some way.
I guess,
So
yeah.
maybe it's relevant.
Let's see what... Because it feels like we have, like, a couple of final trials here, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's the last one. What's the one that's south? Sea monster. I'm sure you saw the sea beasts when you arrived. They circle the mountain. If I recall, the one that snapped up your wheel was serpentine, a sort of sea worm. Okay. When we arrived...
Hmm.
The Guyot ends abruptly. Hanging off the edge is a narrow wooden pier. The end of the pier is a
That
mounted...
would be such a good Wordle word. Nobody would get that.
I mean, have you seen my Wordle? My Wordle guesses? I always guess the worst words. The end appears a mounted hook. The dark shapes of huge sea monsters loom, swimming slowly around the Guyot. Let's look at the hook. A massive hook is mounted on a complex crane-like structure with a crank on its side. It is empty.
Why the fuck is there a pier if we're underwater?
It's metaphysical water.
I see.
Don't worry about it. Why does Bikini Bottom have swimming pools? Don't worry about it. How do they serve the restaurant patrons of the Krusty Krab the water in a glass?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Unlike normal hooks, though, it has no point. There are small barbs for mounting the bait, but the end of the hook is blunted and long instead of pointed. Looks as if its purpose is to scrape the inside of the mouth instead of catch a fish. It is empty.
Wow, well if, unlike normal hooks, the hook has no point. Well, if it's pointless, then I guess we don't bother with it. Oh.
I see many distant, huge and looming shapes. They circle the Gaia as if it were some sort of home base, drifting in lazy circles, peeling off, returning. They keep their distance from each other. Closest shape looks like this. A massive, massive squid. Just huge.
Oh, I bet if we had studied massive sea monsters, we'd know what all of these were called and how to get them.
Oh, well. We not get notes on that? Oh, we only have 4 deaths.
We studied monsters, but we didn't study the huge monsters.
Got it.
And I bet these ones are the huge ones.
Yeah, you're right. All right. We have to kill it with death. We don't have death.
But we probably don't have to. I bet if we knew what they were and how to get them, that we'd have other options.
So I guess we should go study that more.
Perhaps so.
I think that sounds like a... What's north of here? The guy... I'm on a flat, black stone plain. To the south, I see a mound. My ship is here.
I feel like last time I already asked what that word means and we figured it out and it instantly I forgot. So I'm just going to pretend that I know.
I'll look it up. Don't worry, I got you.
I'm totally going to start opening Wordles with that.
A seamount with a flat top. That is... It's like a plateau.
But underwater. A wet toe, if you will.
I don't think I will.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm bringing that one back to the store. Right. We want to get notes on...
It's rough that we haven't even seen one of the wheels yet.
Troll is moving towards the library.
Library B. The library B. Do 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 do.
Where's it moving?
Probably back to the library B. That seems like a good sign to go and check out the gardens.
Okay. It's gonna keep muting ourselves. The garden.
Oh, and we'd know about these flowers and veggies if we'd studied those books.
Tailbones have been neatly stacked into a primitive gate that marks the entrance to 2 gardens. There's a plot of malevolent flowers to the southwest. There's a garden of sinister vegetables to the southeast. So let's, I don't think I need to keep muting ourselves every time. I think that would be... A rather hodgepodge, but nonetheless pretty batch of flowers.
We haven't examined them. Maybe your wheel's in there.
Which flower shall I examine?
I see.
Okay. A variety of odd, faintly sinister-looking vegetables. Cool. We're given a lot of things here, and I don't know what the answer to any of these puzzles is.
I bet that the knowledge from the bookshelf would be where we get the solution to this one.
Destroy the gate. Why would I want to do that? Yeah, but we don't even know where the wheel is that we want.
That's true, but maybe the knowledge there is the key. I don't know. Maybe it's also not.
Well, let's vamoose for now. Because they are currently at home, and we can't do anything while they are there.
We can try west again. Go hunting for fishies.
Let's get the... What are the details from the... What did the Hungry Ghost tell us? One wheel's taken by Grindylow. A messy eater lives in the reef to the west. Reef is filled with monsters, squicks and gilded boars and terrible crayfish. The terrible crayfish are what we need to worry about. Squicks and gilded boars eat each other.
I don't think that's the case.
Yes, it is. That was what we read in the book.
I think we read that it was gilded boars and a different thing.
So...
In Troll Notes Monsters. Gilded boar and giant spine catfish.
So we don't need to worry about the gilded boar. The squick we need to worry about. But the gilded boar...
It just hangs out where the gold is.
The terrible crayfish we cannot deal with, but the boar is fine. Okay.
And the squick is the thing we were looking for the fish for.
Yeah, the squick needs
the little gasping fish.
Okay.
Hide in the sponge.
And where did we find the gasping fish?
That one was the aghast.
Haven't isolated diet or habitat yet. That's unhelpful, but thank you. Okay, and the other thing that lives over there is the kappa, right?
Yeah.
And the kappa is very polite neighbor. Okay. Cool. Let's drop another save. This game is wild.
Yeah?
Like, the scope of it, I keep being impressed. A dark reef. Right, okay, so this is all the same as it was last time.
What happens if we swim up above the reef?
Above the seagrass. I'm treading water into the seagrass. Okay.
What?
I'm above a forest of dark coral. Branches into reaching antlers and ends in sharp tips.
I did not know we could do this.
Let's try going up. So we're above the spinal coral. But a spiral of yellow-orange coral pops up above the reef. There. Oh, we can move in multiple dimensions. Oh, this
Let's
is good.
search for fish.
Do you want to look at the spiral first?
Oh, yeah, let's look at the spiral. Yeah!
Woo! Give us that light. Search for fish.
Let's try...
What is our notes about the fish say? We were looking for a...
Perpetually frightened. Listen for gasping. Maybe it's small and quick moving? And it's gasping?
Let's look at the picture of it.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. It's a biggin. Perpetually frightened. Okay. So, it's a biggin with a big eye. Oh. So, circular. Let's try a toothy fish.
Well, we also heard it hangs out with sponges. So
True.
maybe we gotta find a sponge.
Coral cave. I am in a cave lined with coral. Colorful oasis hidden below the darkness of the reef. Below me, the cave descends into the darkness. I think there are more coral down there. So
concern.
Why?
Is the squick in here?
Oh yeah, let's not.
Let's drop something into the darkness. Let us do. Okay.
Okay,
so we gotta find.
Yeah, this is where we use the fish we find.
What if we examine the coral? Did we do that yet? Ooh. Consult troll notes coral. Cool.
I don't think we know what kind of coral we want. Wait, are we gonna have to harvest stuff and alchemize it? And holy shit! Sorry, the enormity of this game is continuing to dawn on me here. Okay, because I feel like we don't spongy corner.
Ooh, spongy.
Examine the sponges. Different kinds of sponges dot the rocky base. Some sprawl along the rock, a shallow coat like lichen. Some rise in pillars. They are soft and dotted with small holes. They all breathe with the movement of the sea.
I bet this is where we find the thingy.
A small, quick-moving shape, gasping softly.
Ah!
Wide-eyed fish flick about, gasping and staring at shadows and light and everything else. They are skittish little things. Catch one. As soon as I move close, one of them gasps. In response, all the others scatter. They swim about too fast for me to touch. They eventually calm down from the act of panic to mere hyperventilating.
Relatable.
Fear breeds death. Underwater, no one can hear you scream or gasp.
Maybe we gotta try mute.
Gained an aghast.
Cool.
Okay. So now let's go back down here and feed it. Apply. We could poison it. Let's try this. A distant munching.
Okay, so we called it right. That's the Squick is in this cave. Which means the thingy that attacked us last session was not a Squick.
Ooh.
It was probably the throttly thingy.
So let's catch one of these with... Okay. So we're gonna need to kill that thing. God, making me do freaking research? Alright, let's keep poking around as long as we're here. First branch.
Ooh, don't click south. This is the thing that hurt us.
A many-limbed monster hangs over the crossroad, tendrils hanging down.
Yeah, that's the thing that hurt us last time. We've examined this one.
Quota 3. Right. So,
let's swim north immediately instead of trying to go past it. So it looks like it'll stop killing stuff if we hit the quota. So we could be a dick and feed it fish, maybe?
how?
By catching fish and throwing it, because it gave a throw something at it option.
Okay, I wonder what they eat. Let's look at our main inventory. Eels, but will strangle anything moving.
Okay, so if we can find eels, that'd be great.
But it says it will strangle anything moving. Alright, so we want to find eels. Do we know anything about eels?
We didn't. There was a book on eels and we didn't check it out.
Ah. Sorry, I felt like we were continuing to alchemy reagents. Oh, fuck. It is going to be that. Do you see this? This is the feeling as soon as I'm like, oh god, all of the moving parts in this bit. Oh god. Okay. So we know what that is now.
Yeah.
So let's... What do the eels look like? Let's see if we can... Well, we didn't learn about the eels, right?
Yep.
Well, let's go see... Let's go back to the troll place and see if we can get as many notes as we can.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm also going to drop another save here. Cast mute. Troll's not moving. Okay.
But where isn't it moving?
That's a great question. You know what we just saved? If we run into him, we run into him.
Yeah, that'll be good, actually, if we know.
A huge green troll is here. His eyes light up in surprise and greed. He reaches towards me, opening a mouthful of sharp yellow teeth and licking his lips. He's quite fast, and it is pure luck that I managed to dodge out of the way and swim away. I don't stop until I'm at the edge of that whale skeleton. It was extremely lucky to get away that time. If I encounter the troll again, he will certainly eat me. Okay. So, let's not waste our... Alright.
So what if we just wait until the troll's heading the other way? However fucking long that takes, I have no idea, but...
Troll's moving towards the flowers.
Cool,
okay.
So now as soon as the troll is not moving, we will know the troll is down there.
I hear something from the east. To the garden I go, to dig down below. Need a flower so sweet for my brew to complete.
That's useful. So if we're adjacent to the troll, we can hear it.
Dig down below. Need a flower so sweet.
I understand why the areas are triangles now.
Yeah.
Because as long as you're 1 square away, you're fine, and you can hear when you're 1 square away. Cool.
All right, let's go east and listen.
Cool.
Shall we go do more research?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because we're going to want eels, right?
Yep. And whatever else, probably.
Dim the bird. Cool. We didn't look at the mug. We did look at the mug. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So we can poison the troll that way. Sort through the books. Let's keep reading about sea life. Eels.
Eels.
All right. Pleasantly poisonous.
Huh?
Not native to this area, but some landed in the reef after a freshwater storm. Okay. Electric, actually more like a catfish than an eel. Freshwater, but caught in a one trip. Hunter's organ sample drawer 340.
Huh.
Huh. Take notes. Read about huge sea monsters.
Sure.
The black sawtooth. Serrated teeth move on hinges and jaw and saw through ship bottoms. It actually eats the ship itself, persisting on a diet of pine and oak, supplemented by seaweed when not in active shipping lines. Preferred diet ship holes. Evil whale. Like a whale, but evil. Preferred diet squick.
Evil whale, what's it gonna do?
What's it gonna do? Evil whale. No one knows what that fuck. That is so many layers removed from what it originally came from now. Giant squid. 8 arms, 2 tentacles. Everyone gets that wrong. Preferred diet. Things with more appendages than it. It is very proud. Lompture. Technically a sea serpent despite its paunch. Preferred diet. Babies. Classic serpent. Classic sea serpent. Likes nesting in the corners of maps. Not picky. Preferred diet. Any meat. Mumorpiga. A mottled giant that looks like it was made of many different kinds of monster crushed together. Constantly warping and adapting. Preferred diet. Money. Banfish swallows prey whole. Has stomach and pre-stomach where it sometimes stores ingested prey instead of eating them. Instead of eating them, it will take them to a different location in the web and vomit them out. Preferred diet, offensive things. Griefer enjoys preventing other predators from catching their prey. Previously common, but have become rare in this area due to banfish migration. Likes hats. Preferred diets. Hats.
Oh my god, it's the Memorpagas are because they're MMORPGs.
I get it.
Ha!
All right. Should we also take notes on the rays as long as we're here?
Yeah.
Okay, after that, I'll check on where the troll's at.
Probably all from Tampa Bay, right?
Probably. I'm taking notes on these. They're cute. Okay, so let's listen. Okay, they're not near us.
Should we cast just so we know when they are coming?
Troll's not moving. Cool. What else do we got?
Clamps. Or maybe there's more alchemy. No, we got it.
Cool. We took notes on what?
Coral, I think.
Let's take notes on flowers then. Ooh.
Buttercup contains the toxic glycoside ranunculin. When the plant dries, the toxin is lost.
Very poisonous when fresh due to high oxalic acid content. Cardinal flower contains a number of toxic alkaloids, including lobelamine and lobeline.
I'm noticing a pattern.
Right? Hemlock. Good paprika substitute. Bad for chickens. Huh. Okay. Nasty weed, get rid of it. The rosemary, sage. Nice.
So the troll likes to eat the poison plants and is only disgusted by the non-poisonous ones like rosemary and sage.
Interesting. Let's copy down those notes. And then vegetables.
Yeah.
The root looks like a man. It isn't though. Probably did that to make humans scream. It screams when picked. Good to know about the mandrake. Okay. Moonseed. Fruit is poisonous. The principal toxin is the alkaloid. Eat bugs, attract them, and make them drown in nectar. Okay. Poison wood. copy down these notes too. Okay.
Cool. We're smart now.
Let's listen. Okay. And let's see what the troll's up to. Not moving currently.
Cool.
So they're not here and they're not moving. Okay.
Should we check if there's anything we can do with the bird or with the stuff over to the west?
Yeah, let's examine the bird. Let's see what Omni says about this. That which is beloved can easily persuade change if convinced to speak. Easily persuade.
Can we talk to the bird? Probably not because of the mute, but I wonder if there's a shtick to it.
Yeah. We don't really get to learn anything about the bird from the books or anything, so.
Yeah, but we do have a talk option for it, which we probably can't use because we did mute.
Cool. I'm just going to remute just in case. So nothing happened there, but let me listen. And let me hear what the troll is doing, because I want to see whether or not that alerted the troll.
Oh, fuck.
That did alert the troll.
Troll's moving toward the kitchen. We're not in the kitchen, right?
No, we're in the library.
Okay.
So let's wait until we hear the... troll in the... Off to my pop, keep piping in hot.
Cool.
I go west now, I'm sure to meet the troll. Okay. So now the troll's in the west. So now we want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's... GTFO. GTFO. Boom! Saving it.
All right, so we learned shit. Was any of it useful to our current quest for eels?
Who knows? We can only hope so. All right, let's go... Let's check our eel knowledge again.
Eelage, if you will.
And I will. So we want to find the Murena Helena, number 2, which appears to be this one. Kind of speckled, spotted like a leopard.
Seems decent.
Let's see. Oh, return to inventory. I don't want to why would I discard them? They're important. All right, so let's head back west.
Should we search here? See if eels live here? Because that would be one of the eel things, right? Worm-like and then one of those. Didn't seem like we got data on which, but...
let's see, a worm-like thing.
Are they slimy? Do they hold still? I don't know.
Well, the thing is, I think it's describing a fish.
Maybe.
Not a... Yeah! This is what it's... The hagfish is what it's...
Maybe.
This is the eel minigame, not the... or this is the fish minigame.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured maybe that's possible, or maybe eels are as well. I don't know what the mechanic is.
Alright.
West will take us to the thingy that
so we don't want to go there.
Us.
So let's go up, and then west. And then...
We haven't looked south.
South. I'm over a large shipwreck. What looks like a merpig patrols the area below me.
Oh, we should omini.
The lion and the unicorn were fighting for the crown. The lion beat the unicorn all around the town.
Well, seems fine to ignore it.
A merpig.
Because that's going to be the boar thing. The one that hangs out in the shipwrecks.
Oh, so that's fine though. We can go look at it then. Or do you want to keep looking around up here?
It said to not bug it. We should save if we want to try looking at it. Maybe it's fine, but...
Yeah. Because I think we're going to need some of the shipwreck debris to catch one of the...
If we do, we'll probably have to figure...
Classic galleon has planted itself in the rocky base of the Gaiet. Its hull is shattered and coral grows freely between its broken planks. What looks like a merpig is patrolling self-importantly on back and forth in front of the ship.
Oh, we'll have to figure out what to do about
Takes up the hull.
Pig.
Peel off some of the wooden boards that make up the ship's hull and put them in my USB drive of holding. Merpig watches me suspiciously, but doesn't interfere with me. Have a good day. Thank you for your patience. Have a good day, sir. What is it about the very menacing, I hope you have a good day?
I said good day.
Let's see if they'll... We just saved, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if they'll let us enter. Pig monster snorts an angry warning at me. I retreat before he attacks. Okay, fair enough. Understandable.
What's west?
Reef branches here. The way up is blocked by thick coral.
We know what's north and it's the monster.
Yes.
But we don't know what's south or west.
Pillar coral. Pillars of brown coral thrust up from the reef floor and columns. What looks like a massive catfish whose whiskers are spikes roots around the pillars of coral hunting for prey. Manta rays swim back and forth over the sea floor here.
That's catfish monster, I think, is the thing that likes to fight the boars.
She looks like a massive catfish with a cluster of spikes instead of whiskers and around her nose and chin. She also has a mane of thick black tendrils. Based on how her mane probes the ground curiously, I think they might actually be arms, like you find near the mouth of a squid. She's searching around the pillar coral. Creature does not block or bother you, but she has a nemesis.
Fucking called it.
Yep. So we gotta find some way to get the catfish monster to fight the, merpig.
Yeah.
Use matter or motive, or we can use alchemy.
What?
Okay. What are our alchemical options? Is there an alchemy to like, behoove it to do something? Expectorant and rapid emetic. I don't know what emetic is, but I know what expectorant is, so I can assume that it's related to that.
Emetic makes you vom.
Okay, yeah, so it's just coming out both ends now. Goo be gone. Perfect cleaning solution for fish guts. Mild hot sauce. The original title was scribbled out, and this one was written over it. I examined the crossed out words that can make out the title was originally Potion of Quick Death.
Oh, that's good.
Medium hot sauce. The original title was scribbled out, and this one's written over it. Potion of Slow Death. Also good at killing big fish. Hot sauce. Potion of Double Death.
Oh my god.
Too spicy. Weed killer. Nice. Purifying drought. Okay. Dusty recipe was torn out and used as a bookmark. Clearly not often used. It doesn't even have a description. Okay. This is a lot. See, the thing is, like, we're getting a whole lot of information, and I'm still having a hard time putting together the shape of what the puzzle we're supposed to be solving is. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, are we supposed to kill this troll? Is that what we're supposed to do?
I don't know. Seems like we can so far do fine without doing that. I don't know where the wheel is, though. Is the tricky bit.
That's the thing. Let's go west. Anemone field.
Yay. Let's examine the anemones.
I'm in a field of sea anemones. The way south is choked with seaweed. They are as lovely and varied as wildflowers. There are ones with slender long arms of violet. There are squat fat ones bristling with pink. There are pale white ones that look like clusters of ghost fingers. I find that they are all predators. Not of me, though, so I don't mind them.
Is it just me or is this west area fucking big?
It is. The Grindilo Cave. We found it.
Oh, I forgot what we were supposed to do about the Grindilo, whatever.
Yeah, me too. Well, let me drop a hot save before anything else happens then.
We didn't get any documents about what one of these was.
No, but the wraith creature was very chatty.
Mm-hmm.
I smelled this space before I see it. It smells like rotten blood and filth. It is strange to encounter a space so disgusting underwater. An accomplishment. In front of a cave, the entrance is strewn with a variety of corpses. It smells appalling.
I totally misread that as appealing and was like, that's fucked up.
Corpses decorate the outside of the cave. They seem to have been intentionally strewn, intestine garlands, sprinkled rib bits. It looks and smells like a celebration of violent death. Examine one of the corpses in particular. This one looks like a giant lobster, but colored pale white.
So that's probably one of the types of monster or fish. What if we look at the others as well? What sorts of things are there?
This corpse looks like a giant lizard. Its head is intact and is wearing a hat, which is somehow even more terribly gruesome and sad. Wait.
Because that sounds like the griefer, the one that likes hats.
Yep. This corpse is savage and unrecognizable. What do we know? What do we do to motivate the... What was the creature we got that didn't like the merpig?
The whatever that thing is.
Was it a monster?
The giant spine catfish.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Feeds on the manta rays around pillar coral.
Okay.
Preferred diet. Each other.
How do we get them to...
Seems like they find manta rays motivating.
Is that what? Huh. Okay.
I don't know. It's just the one thing that it mentions that we also know stuff about. So I figured could be that. I don't know.
All right. So these are the three ones that, okay. Do anything else. Cool. I guess this is what we're going to have to do at some point, huh?
Perhaps. What happens? Let's see what happens in the cave, I wonder.
The inside of the cave is choked with gore and rot. I can barely breathe. The Grindilo is here.
Whoa!
The Grindilo has mottled green skin. Its long arms. It has long fingers with too many knuckles. Its wide mouth is filled with a jumbled mess of broken teeth as random as shattered glass.
I hope we saved recently.
Yeah, we did.
We could, Omini.
Big beast in the reef. If you lead it somewhere else, it'll be sure you have help. I guess... Hey, what's up? The Grindilo smiles with its shattered teeth. The Grindilo reaches towards me with the long arms.
Seems bad.
Swim away as fast as I can. The Grindilo is chasing me. I can swim for the exit of the reef. I don't think it'll follow me to the Hungry Ghost territory. Or I could lead it to another area in the reef, but if I do that, it will be able to corner me.
I think escaping sounds pretty good.
Let's escape for now. We don't know where we want to lead it yet.
Yeah. Unless we could make it like fight the Squick or something, that'd be cool.
That'd be funny.
I feel like that's not how it works.
Yeah. Predicted he stops. I swim as fast as I can to the entrance of the reef. The Grindilo is close behind, but I make it out before he catches up. As predicted, he stops among the staghorn coral. Any further is too close to another predator's territory. I collapse panting into the seagrass and watch it turn back towards its cave. Take a moment to catch my breath. Okay. There was one other thing back in that area we didn't see. So, down here, shipwreck. And we're swim down here. South of here. Pillar coral.
Oh, God.
Right, so that's the thing there. Okay. We haven't found the Kappa yet.
Yeah, I wonder if it's on the other side of where the monster is that's right in the center. Because that lets you go in all directions, and we haven't found any other way to go to the west of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't go around it. We can't go above it. So I think we're going to want to find a bunch of eels to feed that, right?
Yeah.
Shall we try feeding it just one of the... Oh, hold on. Here's the coral cave.
Oh, there's other places we can go here.
No, yeah, we've already been through this area. Throw something to the tendrils.
Yeah? Let's try throwing something. Yeet.
Oh, apply nothing. Changes slightly.
2.
Okay, let's get some more.
All right.
It was small, quick moving, and gasping.
Yep.
And then, cool.
Can we do it twice?
Let's do it.
Damn it.
Okay, so we have to do it one at a time, but that's fine.
Can we get other fishes?
Probably. Apply nothing? Quota 1. Cool. Let's search for one of these. Since we know what we're getting here. This is not the speedrun strat. After crushing the aghast,
0.
the tendrils of the retract upwards. The orange creature folds in on itself, becoming a small passive just as an orange splotch on the coral. The faint tattoo-like letters on the side of its body read quota 0. Let's go grab one for the road.
Depopulating the fish here.
They're frightened enough, they'll be fine. Okay. Hey!
Called it.
Bet this is where the cap is at. Yeah, you're right. Let's go ahead and drop another save. Save. Boop. Okay. Resting half overgrown by algae is a shrine. Time and brine have peeled most of the red lacquer off the wood, but the walls and slanted roof are intact and sturdy. An elaborate wooden gate frames the entrance. A kappa sits in front of the gate. They approach the kappa. He stands and speaks politely.
Hello, mortal. Welcome to my home.
Thank you for your welcome. Kappa looks at me expectantly. Have you seen a wheel that is also a memory?
I have. It was a gift at my shrine.
It belongs to me.
Yes, it matches your spirit. You have my permission to enter my shrine and retrieve it. But know that if you do not show proper reverence, I will drown you.
Okay, how do I show proper reverence?
That is a reasonable question. It would be rude of me not to answer it.
He taps his beak thoughtfully. After a few moments, he looks satisfied with his thoughts.
There are 3 things you must do. Honor the gate before you pass through it. Purify yourself at the basin. Pray at my shrine.
Honor at the gate, purify at the basin, pray at the shrine. Right, okay, that's the usual. Okay.
At the gate, you must do one thing. You must offer respect once to the gate before you pass through.
What should I take?
Fair enough.
Alright, so... Honor gate. Wash up. And what was the honor gate? Cleanse ourselves and then offer a prayer?
Yeah, purify in the basin and pray at the shrine. And I bet we're about to get 2 screens about those second 2.
Honor gate. Must do one thing. Must offer respect once to the gate before you pass through it. Okay. Basin, you must do 4 things. Rinse your mouth a second.
Ha ha! Yep, glad we're taking notes.
Must do 4 things. Okay. Rinse mouth second to last. Okay, so there are 4 things.
Yep.
Number 3 is rinse mouth. Must wash your left hand before your right, and hands must be washed together. So those have to be the first 2. Left hand. And Must rinse the ladle's handle before you return to the base. Okay. At the altar, you must do 7 things.
I see. I see.
I mean, I guess the question was answered, huh? Bow twice in a row before you bow once. They must be separated by at least one other action. So there's 2 bows. 1 bow. Guess that's 3 of them. Clap after you leave an offering, and they must be separated by at least one other action. Clap after we leave an offering. Okay. When you clap, you must clap as many times in a row as you first bowed. It's going to be a double clap. You must pray immediately before your final action. Okay. So let me see how this all fits in. Okay, so that can't go there. So the first one, bow twice in a row before you bow once. So the bow is going to be last. If you have leave an offering, they must be separated by one. Okay. So first thing we do is offering. Then it's going to be. Then we're going to bow twice. Then we're going to clap twice. Then we're going to pray, and then we're going to bow again.
Okay, so before we go past that, how about the wording, when you clap, you must clap as many times in a row as you first bowed. Does that mean that you had to first bow?
Yep.
Before clapping?
Yep, which is why it goes offering, bow, bow, clap, clap, pray, bow.
Okay.
Surprisingly, it didn't wind up mattering. The logic is, the pray has to go in the 6th slot out of 7. Easy enough. There can only be one thing that happens in the last slot. And because of the way the offering gap clap clap works, clap clap can't go last. Not enough action slots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing has to be the singular bow.
Okay.
Which means that there are 5 slots in a row for the offering, 2 bows, and 2 claps. Something has to be separating the offering for the 2 claps. 2 bows have to go in there. And that's the only order they can go in. So it's offering, bow, bow, clap, clap, pray, bow.
Smart. I had the order wrong. That is how you respect my shrine. If you do not do as I said, I will drown you, and then I will eat your corpse.
He looks very satisfied with himself. Great. Thank you. Let's drop another save.
We got more stuff to ask about.
Can you tell me about this building?
It is my home. It honors me.
He spends a moment examining the half-derelict shrine.
I need a maid. Are you looking for work?
Not at the moment. Who built it?
Mortals. They built it for me, so that I would not drown them.
How did that work out for them?
I do not drown those who pray at my shrine, as long as they show proper respect.
I see. Can I ask you some questions about this reef?
This reef is my home, and I know much of it. Ask your questions. Ooh, these are good questions.
Can you tell me about the Grindylow?
He is a coarse and rude creature. I dislike him greatly. I would drown him if I had the strength.
We share a dislike. Is there a way I could help you gain that strength? He taps his beak meditatively.
If I could eat all of my favorite foods all together, then I think I would have the strength to defeat him.
What are they?
I love speckled rays.
Hold on, I'm making a list.
Oh my god, we are going to need to find every single type of fish and stuff.
Speckled rays.
I love the eel called conger.
The conger eel. Okay.
I love blooming coral.
Blooming coral.
And I love cucumbers.
Of course. I could have guessed that one before he.
Fetch me my favorite foods, and I will give you advice and then eat the cucumbers.
Thanks, Nitori. Okay. What can you tell me about the troll?
A fine neighbor, very polite, very neat. I tried to hire him as a maid. He declined, but he was very polite.
Tell me about the hungry ghost.
She eats spirit. She does not trouble me. Sometimes we have hunted together. She's polite enough.
Tell me about the wildlife in the reef.
Beware the squick in the coral cave, but know that it is confined to the darkness, so if you bring light, you will be safe. Also, do not fear the spine catfish by the pillar coral. She is a kitten. Sometimes I play with her and feed her the bright rays. Those are her favorite.
Good to know.
The bright rays is useful because that's probably how we get the spine catfish to follow us around.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly it. I think that's everything.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Cool. All right. Thank you. I need to... I want to enter the shrine, but I want to... it's going to be like we enter and then we go through the... Okay. Let me... Main menu. Save, because I'm going to fuck this up, but we know it. Okay. Walk towards the elaborate wooden gate that frames the shrine. The Kappa watched me with interest so intense it is unnerving, like he's waiting for me to make a mistake. Standing before the elaborate wooden gate. Honor gate, offer... regret once?
What?
All instructions.
Respect.
Offer respect once to the gate before you pass through it. So I guess we're going to bow.
Yeah, bowing is respectful.
I bow to the gate. Okay. And then... Oh, respect. My handwriting is terrible. Go through. I'll walk safely through the gate. In front of the shrine. Before the shrine is a basin of water. Okay, so we are going to go next to the basin.
Yep.
Standing in front of the basin, there's a ladle hanging off the... Okay, so we are going to do... We're going to rinse the left hand, the right hand, rinse the mouth, and then rinse the ladle.
Yep.
So we're going to do left hand. And then we're going to do right hand. And then we're going to rinse the mouth. And then we're going to rinse the ladle's handle. And then we're going to leave the basin. I hang the ladle back by the basin before moving away. I am in front of the shrine. Beside the shrine is a basin of water.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to enter the shrine.
Yeah.
Walk safely into the shrine. Booyah. I'm inside of the shrine in front of an altar. The altar contains a statue that resembles the Kappa and one of my wheelchair wheels. There's a small box on my left that looks like it's meant for offerings.
All right, so we have the instructions for...
We can leave an offering, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So, the instructions are... Time to see whether... Okay. First step, leave an offering. We're going to offer a chaos.
Okay.
Mote. Put the mote in the box. And then we're going to bow twice. Then we are going to clap twice. And then we are going to pray. Press my hands together. I give my attention and focus to the shrine. That is how I pray. And then we are going to bow once more. I bow to the shrine.
Cool.
Take the wheel. Reach out and take the wheel. Nothing happens. I quickly leave the shrine. Once outside, I examine my prize. It is a small caster wheel. It is both a solid object and a memory. The caster joint is stuck and won't rotate. I can fix the physical form by sorting out the memory. So I start to do that. I see one that starts with a capital. We haven't done this in a while, huh?
Yeah.
Susan got me a necklace made out of shark teeth that hung off the back.
I bet that it's to warn people not to touch my goddamn chair.
Warn people not to touch my goddamn chair. Oh. Hopper got me a seat cushion.
Probably with a mer rabbit on it.
With a mer rabbit on it. Harvey's apprentice got me blue LEDs, and Harvey attached them to the wheels so that my chair would look like something called Tron. And Harvey made the chair itself, of course.
That seems about right.
This dream is complete. Excellent.
Ah, more spells.
Yep, more spells. All right, we got one wheel out of 4 already.
Yeah, that's progress.
We are making some progress. It only took us an hour. Jesus Christ. Oh, this game. All right. So, what do we know that the Kappa wants? I think feeding the Kappa next is going to be our next priority, because that seems like an easy problem right in front of us, so we know what to do. We need to find these fish.
Yeah.
And we need to feed them to this Kappa. So let's look at our inventory. So what about the rays? You want speckled rays, right?
Speckled romper.
249.
Yeah, that's pretty speckled.
Pretty speckled. Okay.
And we know where the rays hang out, too.
Do we?
Yeah, near the catfish.
Near the catfish. Okay. So let's go to the catfish then, and we'll get some rays while we're there.
Yeah.
Okay, swim south. Swim south again. Coral pillar. Here we go.
I love that it gives an option. Apparently, most rays are black.
Right.
It is a black one.
Is it? Okay.
Rounded fins.
A dark black ray with rounded fins. That does sound what we want.
But is it speckled?
It's not speckled, though.
Let's look at a different one that's black. That doesn't seem quite right.
That doesn't seem right. How about yet another? Pale spots and rounded fins.
That's what we want.
A dark black ray with pale spots and rounded fins.
Yeah.
You're not even going to let us know what it's called. We have the ray.
What does it say when it's in inventory? Oh, it just says ray. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that's the right one.
What else
A
do
dark
you need
black
for
ray
the
with
Kappa?
pale spots and rounded fins. I think, yeah, it's got the
It's got the spots. There's only one ray with spots.
Exactly. Okay. So we need blooming coral and a conger eel and cucumbers.
Where the fuck are the eels?
I haven't seen the eels yet. What do we need to make this a bright ray for the catfish, right?
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we can only do one ray at a time. That's fine.
Okay, so let's bring this one to the Kappa, see what the Kappa thinks. Want to go north again? Food for you. All right. The Kappa opens his mouth wide and slides the entire wide ray down his throat. He licks his beak.
That was a wonderful ray. Such yummy speckles. I love eating rays that immediately take effect.
You feel the effect?
Oh my god, I can feel the effect.
Cool. All right. So let's then catch the bright one.
Yeah? Yeah.
Cool. Let's do something else. And let's... Let me save. We've done a little bit of progress.
Yeah.
So let me save real quick here. Okay. And let's use the ray. I offer the ray to the monster. Her eyes light up and she swims towards me. I toss the yellow ray to her. She devours it enthusiastically. She swims over to me, examining with curious eyes, mane wavering inquisitively, hoping for more food. Where should I lead her? To the shipwreck. The monster follows me to the shipwreck. When she catches sight of the pig monster, she stops abruptly. She barks, the tendrils of her mane lash. Spines on her face prickle out in a violent display. The hog monster sees this, emits a terrible grunting roar, and charges. The battle is bloody and leaves no survivors. The hog monster has been killed by poisonous spines protruding at ugly angles from its face and neck. The catfish creature has been gored. Her organs leak out her side. 2 corpses born of instinctive hatred. I swim out from behind the rock I was hiding behind.
Whoa.
Woo! Well, that was fun.
Yeah. Well, let's go in the
We could
ship.
take their corpses with us?
Yeah, I guess.
Let's enter the ship. The inside of the ship is broken down and algae cracked. There's a beautiful statue of a winged man. There's an intact treasure chest.
Treasure.
Examine the statue. When I look at it from one perspective, it looks like a man with wings. When I move slightly and look at it from another angle, it looks like a huge, beautiful horse. I'm not certain how the artist managed that. There's a plaque on its base. The plaque on the statue reads, My first is round everywhere.
First found everywhere.
My first is found everywhere.
Is first found.
I'm having a day of it. My first
It's a Wordle!
My first is first found everywhere. My second is you. My third is last and forever. My fourth dwells twice in fools. My last is at the end of the heavens and the beginning of the suffering.
This is so easy.
This is really easy. Okay, so there are, what, 5, right? 3, 4, 5. First is found everywhere.
First is first found everywhere.
My first is first found everywhere. I don't get what that means. Let's look at the rest of it. My
the rest are
second
easy.
is you. Okay. Easy. Good luck translating that. My third is last and forever. That is an R. My fourth dwells twice in fools. That is an O. My last is at the end of the heavens and at the beginning of suffering. That is an S. Oros.
Is if the first one is E at the beginning of everywhere for euros, that could be it.
Speak my name and I will travel with you. What word will I speak? Let's save. In case this is a one-time.
Yeah.
My first is first found everywhere. I think you're right. I think it is an E. E U R O S. As I speak the name Uros, I feel a rushing of wind surround me. I'm at the center of a storm for a second. I hear a voice in my ear.
Hello, it is I, the European Central Bank.
Oh, fuck.
Euros. At your disposal. No wind shall vex you, mortal, for we travel together.
Excellent. The air around me stills, but it is still infused with a certain amount of magic. Gained 1 air. And I believe I have a helpful passenger. Gained Eros, the east wind.
Cool.
Let's open the treasure chest. The chest is filled with golden doubloons. Well, that's neat. Not as useful as matters of motives, but neat. Take the chest. Tap the treasure chest with my USB folding and download it into my inventory.
Money, money, money. Ain't it funny?
All right.
Do.
Wait, we just have Eros in our inventory? A minor god of the wind floats invisible around me.
We just have a god in our inventory, just chilling.
That's just how it is.
In our pocket.
In our USB drive of holding. Let's. Okay.
I wonder if eels are in one of these up places.
Yeah, because we need blooming coral and a conger eel.
We know where to get the coral, at least.
We do?
Yeah, that was up in front of the Squick cave.
Second branch. First branch. Coral cave.
Yeah, examine the coral. Yeah. Yeah, so we just gotta figure out which one is that kind of coral.
Blooming coral, it says. Oh, number 11. Number 11 appears to be yellow and pink. Yellow is the predominant color here.
Cool.
So let's grab some yellow coral. New coral. Yellow on the outside, pale orange on the inside. This large coral grows into a sort of vase or bowl shape with a wavering edge. That sounds exactly what we need. All right, so let's give this one to the kappa.
Yeah.
Got some food for you. The kappa noshes the coral bit by bit, like popcorn. It disappears quickly. He licks his beak.
Such delicious coral. Thank you.
You're welcome. Conger eel. All right. Eel time. At least we can run. At least we can swim around here now without fucking things up. You know?
Yeah, it makes it way easier to be more systematic.
Yeah.
What's north? Sponges. Okay.
Sponges. What do we know about? Do we know anything about where the eels vibe?
We don't. Do we know which kind of extremely large? So all we know is we're looking for a big eel. Cool. Because it's probably going to be a thing like the rays, right? Where it'll give us a cue, because we don't have any info on where they live.
Cool. Okay, so let's poke around then. Oh, we haven't checked up the top layer in a while. Ooh, what's this?
Interesting.
Treading water over a rock formation. A group of women are lounging about on top of it.
I am curious.
Yo, what up? I approach the women lounging on top of the rocks. They watch me curiously. One waves. Coming closer, I confirm what I suspected from a distance. They are all entirely nude. Hi. One of the women makes a complex series of hand motions at me. When I fail to understand, she picks up a board, flat slab of stone from beside her. She produces a length of chalk from behind one ear. She writes on the stone with practiced quickness.
Hello, I am Ligeia. Who are you?
Pisces. Ligeia raises her erases her first message and writes another.
May I ask what you are?
I'm an open sorcerer. Ligeia looks perhaps a little more interested in me, but not surprised. She erases her slab and writes,
We are the Sirens. As mentioned in the Odyssey.
As mentioned, you renamed. Ligeia makes a face.
We prefer not to be defined by our association with Odysseus. That was a long time ago.
I understand. I won't mention him again. I'm sitting among the sirens, who converse silently with each other through hand motions. Ligeia sits next to me with a slab of stone and a piece of chalk. Ask you some questions about they're speaking in sign language, so they don't use their voice powers.
Oh,
that's
smart.
Smart. Ligeia writes on her slab.
I know about the reef. What do you want to ask about?
You tell me about the Grindylow.
Dangerous, but stupid.
Thank you. What about the troll?
He appreciates music. He sometimes tries to eat us. Overall, we are not fond of him.
Okay, so he likes music.
His bird is very sweet. You can visit her if you are careful. The troll is not subtle. Listen for his movements.
Thank you. Can you tell me about the hungry ghost?
She is not moving with the times.
Thank you. Can you tell me about the wildlife in the reef?
The aghast fish are delicious. They are east of here by the sponges.
She thinks more, then writes,
The throttler makes it hard to move through the reef, but it has a quota of things it can strangle every day. And if it meets that quota, it stops.
So we can learn it this way, too.
That's cool. So there's multiple paths.
Okay, so there's multiple ways to learn all this information. I always feel better when there's, like, I feel weird when there's, like, one way to learn one piece of information, and, like, if you miss it, you miss it. But as soon as, like, there are two options, like, okay, you're going to run into it if you're checking a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else. What is everyone doing with their hands? The guy writes,
We're using Atlantean sign language.
What is that?
A language of hand movements. It was made in Atlantis back before it rebranded and sunk out of consciousness.
Teach it.
Interesting.
Ooh. Ooh. Why do you use it?
Our voices are magically beautiful. Anyone who hears us becomes entranced and must try to come to us. It is absolutely exhausting constantly being surrounded by infatuated mortals and fish. Also, consent is important, and not causing shipwrecks is also important. ASL just makes everything easier.
That is very responsible, and I appreciate not being enchanted. Have you seen a wheel that is also a memory?
I know the Kappa's shrine has a new treasure. Check there. Be careful, though. He will eat you if you aren't polite.
Thank you. All right, well, that didn't really tell us anything we didn't know, but thank you. pleasant folks.
It did give us the interesting option about
teaching someone ASL. Yep. Oh!
Hey! Eel time.
A large rock sits on the edge of the reef. It protrudes from the ground gradually, creating an overhang under which a great deal of life has gathered. It is pocked with holes. Eels swim in and out of them. Let's examine the eel. So we want a...
really big eel.
Conger eel.
Stripy eel, stripy eel.
3. Conger vulgaris. Stripy eel. What did we need the other eel for? Because I thought we had notes about needing the other eel for something.
Probably.
Whatever. Let's start with conger eel, the striped eel. Okay. A large eel with broad stripes on its belly and a narrow head of long head fins.
Time to feed the kappa. Wait, what's south?
Yeah, what is south? Oh, we can...
What? I'm pretty sure that's not to the north. Huh. Oh, well, that's fine.
That's fine. Sure.
But we can feed the kappa.
Yeah, we can feed the kappa. Hey, I got food for you. The kappa opens his mouth and wide and slides the entire massive eel down his throat. He licks his beak.
That was a wonderful eel. I can taste the stripes.
Worrisome, but all right. Good to know. Thank you.
Now we just need a cuke.
We just need some cukes.
And I bet those are in the troll garden.
Are they? Did it look like the troll was gardening cukes?
Check the vegetables notes.
Oh, the vegetables notes. Vegetables. I want to see a picture plant poison wood.
Maybe not.
We can check. I thought we would have to check the kitchen.
That could be too. That could be.
Or go all the way back to the diner.
Cuke.
Bye.
What if it's sea cukes?
Sea cukes.
Because
sea
if we go
cucumbers
into
are kind
the
of fish, right? Go into the what?
I think it was in with the fish. Or maybe it's in with the coral. I don't remember. Probably in with the fish. Though I'm pretty sure sea cukes aren't fish. Holothurians.
Is that the joke? Is that the joke? But in the dark reef, they only cluster in colorful areas.
So I bet we just have to find somewhere that's really colorful and then do the fish search.
Okay, so somewhere colorful.
Like the spot where all the coral was.
Spot where all the coral was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coral's colorful.
Was it?
I think it's to the north, right? Because that's where we got the coral.
Cave lined with coral.
Yeah, it's colorful.
Search for fish.
Let's search for a colorful, lumpy creature that's holding still.
How do they describe it? Hold on. I'm good. Leathery skin, long sluggish bodies. They cannot swim, only crawl. Only crawl. So I wonder if it...
There we go.
All right, let's... We'll save before we feed that to the kappa, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case the game's like, haha, I see what you did there. Have some food for you. The kappa's eyes go wide with delight. He grabs the sea cucumber and gobbles it down. He licks his beak and hums happily.
Love it.
The kappa leaps up. He spins about and swims in a quick lap around his shrine.
I am a god of the river. My hands are iron. My grip is death. I am ready. Bring the grindy low to me and I will strangle it.
Sounds good. Let's go do that. So it was south and west, right?
Yeah.
Enter the cave. Continue. Get away. Lead it to the kappa. I swim as fast as I can to the Kappa's shrine. The Grindylow is close behind. The Kappa sees the Grindylow and leaps up into the water. He barks a challenge. The Grindylow turns to him and smiles with its broken teeth. The Kappa barks again and hurls towards it. His bark is high and a little squeaky. It sounds like an otter. I hide behind a rock and watch. The Grindylow has size and claws, but the Kappa is quick, well-armored, and terrifyingly strong. The Grindylow lashes out with its claws and gnashes its shattered teeth. The Kappa rakes with his iron strong fingers and snaps with its sharp beak. Soon the water is laced with blood. Eventually, the Kappa gets his hands around the Grindylow's neck. Once he's gotten purchase, he pulls himself almost entirely inside his shell and clings on doggedly. A little turtle terrier. The Grindylow flails. It rakes at the shell. It smashes itself and its little passenger against the ground and rocks. Its struggles get slower and slower. Its failing becomes writhing. Its twitching becomes stillness. If the Grindylow goes limp, the Kappa holds on for another good minute longer. Then he comes out of his shell, making sure.
I am the Lord of the River,
he says to me. He does a victory lap around his shrine. Then he settles back down, looking very satisfied with himself.
I see.
Take the Grindylow corpse. Thank you for helping me with the Grindylow. That's what I was like, I hope there's a way we can thank him. There's a way we can thank him.
Yeah.
That's great.
You are welcome. Thank you for helping me prepare. All will be pleased at its death. We are the heroes of Geistholm.
Excellent. In that case,
let's go get a wheel.
inside the cave is so choked with gore and rot I can barely breathe. One of my wheelchair wheels is here. Take the wheel. Quick, take the wheel! I examine the wheel. It is one of the large ones. It is both a solid object and a memory. The Grindylow has gnawed the tire to shreds. I can fix the physical form by sorting out the memory. So I start to do that. Okay, there's two of them.
I think it starts with I remember.
First.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember having a broken leg in high school and watching other children play soccer.
Yeah.
Other children play soccer. That was a pain, but it passed. This doesn't pass. Muscle cramps and pressure sores, helpless, being wheeled too fast down a slope, sitting inside, realizing I haven't been outside in a week.
That sounds right.
Oof. Let's get out of there. We got 2 out of 4.
Yeah, that's progress.
We are making much more progress than I thought we would, actually.
Yeah, when we first got to the puzzles and the alchemy and stuff, I was like, oh, fuck, it's going to take us so long to get one wheel.
Right?
But
I was like, it's going to take us
simpler.
so long to puzzle all this shit out.
Once we had all the info, it was simpler than we thought.
Yeah, I'm glad we went to do the research first.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 down.
Yeah.
Grindylow wheel, Kappa wheel. 1 is in the sea monster and 1 is probably with the troll, right? That's the other stuff that we...
That's what the hungry ghost told us.
Right. All right, and what do we know about the... Right, we wanted the other eel for the sea monster.
Did we?
Yeah, hold on. Because let's go back to... God, so many corpses. Oh, because we can use these as bait. Is why we can look at all the... because... Circle the mountain, a serpentine sort of sea worm. Okay, thank you. I will do anything else other than talk to you. So... Huge monsters. Eats the ship itself. I think the sawtooth is it.
Yeah, the sawtooth is kind of wormy, but so is the classic serpent.
Yeah, either one could work.
Let's try the wood. Let's try the wood.
It seems like that's the only thing we use it for, right? So, and let's save too.
Yeah.
Always be saving.
You can put the Kappa's note on the hook. That's so silly. I love that. Ship hull seems about right.
I wedge the wooden side of the sea ship onto the barbs of the hook. It hangs secure and intact.
All right.
Let's fish.
Gone fishing. I can't believe this has a fishing minigame. This game has everything.
This game has everything. I fish the crank. The mounted hook extends, rotating forward like a crane. Sections lengthening and unfolding to reach out into the water beyond the pier. There is no catch, and I need to keep my hand on the crank to keep it from unwinding. The hook baited with a ship hull dangles in the open ocean. A nearby sea monster is extremely interested in the bait and swims closer. The black dragonish creature devours the bait, biting down hard on the hook in the process. The broad, dull hook does not catch it, but motes of death are scraped out of its mouth. Finishes its meal and floats away.
Interesting. What if we look out at sea monsters for a bit? See if we can see one that looks like...
I see many distant, huge and looming shapes. Oh! This is how we get more death motes, so we can kill them.
I see.
They circle the Gaia as if it were some kind of home base, drifting in lazy circles, peeling off, returning. They keep their distance from each other. So what we'll do is we can save so that way we don't accidentally kill the... Because there are two options here, right? What we'll do is we'll save, and that way we don't kill the black serpent, mouth of language. I think this might be... This is one of the two it might be, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So let's try. The sawtooth is a huge monster, but death is death. I split its cords open looking for my wheel. I don't find it. I guess a different sea monster ate it.
Ah!
Oh, funny you should say that. Let's wait for a different monster. Pot-bellied beast. That's not it. Pot-bellied beast with an almost human face, twisted into a perpetual grimace, flaps through the water with semi-transparent wing-like fins, and occasionally gives out a disapproving harf. A long sea serpent, its segmented body and toothless mouth make it look like almost like a worm. Here it is.
Yeah.
This is one of the large wheels. It's both a solid object and a memory. The spokes have been mangled by the sea monster's teeth. I can fix the physical form by sorting out the memory. So I start to do that. I remember going to the corner store by myself for the first time after leaving the hospital. It was weirdly complicated, but damned if I didn't do it on my own. When I got home, my arms ached with victory.
Yeah?
Yep. 3 out of 4.
So fucking close. I wonder if we can farm more death there.
Yeah.
Worth remembering in case we need it in the future.
Yeah, I bet we might. So let's go ahead and save. So the last thing is that the troll. The troll is going to be the hard one to deal with. Because I don't know what to do about the troll. I doubt your skin is really in your mind. Perhaps not announce your presence. Right, okay. So what did we learn about the troll?
Not a ton. Just what the various folks we've talked to have said, which is that he lives over there. He's polite, but will eat you.
Hot sauce
Gotta be quiet.
Too spicy. Are we sure that he has the last wheel?
I do believe that is what the hungry ghost said.
Yeah. Okay. Eel, MH, and blank coral.
For the weed killer.
The weed killer, right. Digging in the garden. I wonder if there's something in the garden. Did they bury our wheel in the garden? Did I just save? I just saved, right? Yeah, I just saved. Okay. Mute and troll is not moving. Cool.
Where's the troll?
Move south. From the west.
Hmm.
Okay. It's go east. I'm going west. Okay. Let's wait for the troll to start moving. Where are they heading?
Off to my pot, keep it piping and hot.
So they're going to the north.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Examine the vegetables. What do we want here? Contains ricin. So, what do we think will help us here? Water soluble toxin.
Well, the troll loves toxins.
Root like a man isn't though. Probably did that to make humans squeamish when picked. Tell age by number of flowers. More flowers there are, the older root. Proves poisonous. The principal toxin alkaloid RC. Clever plants eat bugs, attract them, make them drown in nectar. Aquatic version needs to be poisonous due to lack of drownable prey. Irritant neutral, much like its close relatives, poison sumac and poison oak. Everything is poison, but none of it will help.
Yeah. There were flowers that weren't. The ones all the way at the bottom. The sage and the one above it, the rosemary. Fucking hates those.
Yeah. Okay, so... Delicious. Okay, so we want rosemary or sage. Rosemary is long and
blue.
This one is kind of
sorry. The rosemary is not blue. The sage is blue. Ah.
Lavender flowers climb the stem. Its leaves are oblong and have rough surfaces.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right. Do we want to try to get the other one?
Oh.
Because it seemed the other one was nastier. Nasty weed. It doesn't have any flowers on. I guess it's got some white or bluish flowers towards the top.
Or are those the yellow things? Because you see like a yellow thing in the drawing.
Yeah. Can make them bigger.
Oh, they're white. It has white flowers.
White flowers. Okay, so white flowers with long stems. Okay. Leaves resemble curved pine needles. I think that's it.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, I think this is it. You around us? Cool. Let's go north. Listen.
I wonder why we can destroy the gate.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't have an answer for you. All right. I think we got some good stuff here.
Yeah.
Let's call it here for now, and the next time we'll come back. And when we come back, I think it'll be the end.
Sounds like it.
We'll take care of the troll and maybe look at some of these other loose ends we had dangling, see if we can wrap any of those up on our... But yeah, I think this is the penultimate episode, so...
yeah.
Thank you all for coming by. See you next time. Don't eat rosemary. Or do. It's probably pretty good.
It's delicious.
Is it delicious?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I believe you, though.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.